You remember that moment when you looked in the mirror and said you were going to change. When you told yourself this was it. This was the time you were finally going to become who you knew you could be. Remember that conversation you had with yourself in the dark at 3 in the morning when life had beaten you down and you said enough is enough. Where is that person now? Where did that fire go? Because right now you're sitting here making excuses about why it's too hard, why it's taking too long, why other people have it easier. You're telling yourself stories about how you're different, how your situation is special, how the rules don't apply to you the same way. Stop lying to yourself. The promise you made wasn't conditional. You didn't say you'd change if it was easy. You didn't say you'd grow if it was convenient. You didn't say you'd become great if everything went according to plan. You made a promise, period. And promises aren't suggestions. They're not guidelines. They're not things you do when you feel like it. A promise is your word, and your word is all you have in this world. When you break your word to yourself, you're telling the universe that you can't be trusted. You're telling yourself that you're not worth keeping a commitment to. Every time you hit snooze instead of getting up, every time you choose comfort over growth, every time you quit when it gets hard, you're breaking that promise. And here's what happens when you keep breaking promises to yourself. You start to believe that you're the kind of person who doesn't follow through. You start to believe that you're weak. You start to believe that you don't have what it takes. And once you believe that about yourself, it becomes your reality. But you're not done yet. You think you are, but you're not. You think you've given everything you had, but you haven't. You think you've reached your limit, but you haven't even scratched the surface of what you're capable of. The human spirit is designed to endure way more than you think. Your body can handle way more than you think. Your mind can push through way more than you think. The problem is, you've been treating your life like it's a practice round. Like there's going to be another chance. Like there's going to be a better time. Like somehow the stars are going to align and everything is going to be perfect, and then you'll finally be ready to keep that promise. Wake up. This is it. This is your life. This is your one shot. There is no practice round. There is no dress rehearsal. There is no better time coming. There is only right now and what you do with it. You want to know what separates the people who make it from the people who don't. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not connections. It's not circumstances. It's the ability to keep going when every fiber of your being wants to quit. It's the ability to show up when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to honor your commitments to yourself even when no one is watching. Most people think discipline is about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. That's not discipline. That's just willpower, and willpower runs out. True discipline is about becoming the kind of person who does what needs to be done because that's who you are. It's about making your word so important to you that breaking it feels impossible. When you made that promise to yourself, you weren't just talking about changing your habits. You weren't just talking about losing weight or making more money or getting in shape. You were talking about becoming a different person. You were talking about transformation. And transformation is painful. It's supposed to be painful. You can't become a butterfly without first dissolving into soup in the cocoon. You can't become strong without first breaking down your muscles. You can't become wise without first confronting your ignorance. Growth requires destruction of who you used to be. That's why it hurts so much. That's why every day feels like a battle. That's why you want to quit. Because you're literally dying and being reborn every single day. The old you, the weak you, the excuse-making you is fighting for its life.
Hebrews.
Because you're here to kill it.
Purity.
But here's what you need to understand.
And becoming one.
The pain you're feeling right now.
That's right.
The discomfort, the struggle.
Hit the like button on your way in the
That's not
door.
a sign that you're doing something wrong. That's a sign that you're doing something right. That's a sign that you're growing. That's a sign that you're becoming. Most people feel that pain and they think it means they should stop. think it means they're not cut out for it. They think it means they should go back to their old comfortable life.
Hit that like button on your way in
Comfortable
the
is what
door.
got you here in the first place. Comfortable is what made you need to make that promise. You made that promise because you were tired of being comfortable. You were tired of settling. You were tired of knowing that you had more inside you but not doing anything about it. You were tired of living below your potential. You were tired of being average when you knew you could be extraordinary. So why are you trying to go back to comfortable now? Why are you looking for the easy path? Why are you making excuses? Why are you negotiating with yourself? Why are you acting like the promise you made doesn't matter? It matters. It matters because you matter. It matters because your life matters. It matters because the person you're becoming matters. It matters because the people watching you
Hope
matter.
all is well with
It
all
matters
of the
because the example you're
bros,
setting matters.
all of
You
the
think no one is
sisters.
watching, but they are. Your
Y'all
kids
know
are watching to see if you're the kind of person
we
who
always
keeps their
gotta
word.
wait a few
Your
minutes
partner is watching to see if you're the kind of person who follows through.
to see if
Your
YouTube
friends are watching
is
to
going to
see if
send the
you're the kind of person
notifications,
who does what they say they're going to do.
because
But more
YouTube does
importantly,
not
you're
like to
watching.
send out
Deep
notifications
down
over
inside,
here.
there's a part of you that's keeping score.
That's why we always wait a
There's a
couple
part
of
of you
minutes.
that knows exactly how
Hit
many
the like
times you've
button on
started
your
and
way up
stopped.
in here though,
There's a part of you that knows exactly how many promises you've broken to yourself.
and subscribe to
There's
the
a part of you
channel
that's tired of the
if you're
disappointment.
not already.
That part of you is begging you not to quit again.
We're going to read.
That part of you is begging you to finally be the person you said you were going to be. That part of you is begging you to honor the commitment you made. That part of you knows that if you quit again, it's going to be harder to believe in yourself next time. Every time you quit, you're not just losing momentum on whatever goal you were working toward. You're losing faith in yourself. You're losing trust in your own word. You're creating evidence that you're the kind of person
I was going to tell y'all to go and grab your
every
Bibles,
time you push through when you want to quit,
but the book of
you're
Enoch
creating
is a
evidence that you're
banned
the
book.
kind of person who keeps their
And since
promises.
the
You're
majority
creating
of our
evidence that
people,
you're strong.
you follow the Roman Catholic Church. The majority of our people do. Not all of us. There are a few of us out there who don't give a damn about no church, no religion. We know that they are all the devil that the Bible speaks of, every one of them. And so we don't give a damn when you say, hey, brother, you ought not read the book of Enoch, brother. brother, the Most High is going to get you, brother. Pushing them fraudulent books, those books are not of God. Prove it. Not with your little emotions, your little nice, soft, cupcake emotions. I don't care nothing about your emotions. And that goes for anybody. We deal with reality. You're going to come on here and say, these books are fraudulent. Well, where's your proof at, sir? That's the same thing that the Pope told people. Those books are fraudulent. That's why they took so many books out of the scriptures. And you know what that lets me know? See, we know certain books that they tried to hide, tried to ban, tried to suppress. We know some of the books. Have you ever thought about all of the books that we never, ever, ever heard of? Have you ever considered that there are prophets out there? Hebrew Israelite prophets in the days of old. You and I will never, ever hear about them because they hid the books and they banned them. And you can take books, you can steal books, you can hide books. You ain't going to stop the things that are in these books from coming true just because you want to hide it. We got SP in his house. Excuse me. What's going on, Sister SP? And in case y'all don't know out there, Sister SP is one of them ones. A mighty Hebrew Israelite sister. and she don't take no shit. Sister SP gonna stand on business. And if you've been around here for any amount of time, you can gather that from Sister SP. Shout out to Sister SP. Always a pleasure to see you, sis. SP says, Shalom. I'll be listening from my TV. Go in on them, bro. Heart loving emoji. Hey, Sister SP, thank you for that very encouraging, uplifting comment, sis. It means the world to me. And I'm sure it means the world to other brothers and sisters out there too. Because you know what? We all playing on the same team. Once again, we getting ready to read. We're going to read more of the book of Enoch. Okay? And you know what? I think, the Most High God got me pulling up into this book of Enoch right now. We might be getting ready to pull up in this book of Enoch and just hang out here for a while. I ain't just talking about today. I'm talking about like maybe for a week or two or whatever it takes. It's book of Enoch time, more than usual. We are living in some wild, strange, unusual times. People will come on here, go over there, and they'll say that anybody who reads stuff like what we're getting ready to, they will convince themselves and many of our own people that somehow we are evil. Because we want to read and search out a matter for ourselves instead of listening to you, people who listen to the Pope. Why would I listen to the Pope? Why would I listen to a Christian pastor? Why would you listen to a Pope, a Catholic priest, a Christian pastor? What would possess you to do something so foolish? The same people who lie about everything, steal everything, stole you, put you in captivity, made you bow down to a demon, made you drink blood, eat a body, got you eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, got you hating your own kind, but loving everybody else except for the children of Israel. And these are the people who told you, don't read this, don't read this. But see, now, that's what our own brothers and sisters will say. It's not canonized, don't read this, Most High gonna get you, Mr. Real Talk, pushing fraudulent books. Where is your proof? Because I've been tired of weak niggas coming on this channel, talking smack, running your big fat mouth, complaining about us reading the book of Enoch. If you don't like it, roll out. This ain't for you if you don't like it. I'm not saying this channel is not for you, but clearly these episodes when we go deep sea diving into heavy things, because the book of Enoch is very heavy. And it shines a lot of light on a lot of darkness. It exposes a lot of hidden agendas. It clears up one's sight. It'll give you a better understanding of the real world. Many of our people, we already know the Gentiles don't know what's going on. Many of God's chosen people, who are the Israelites, don't have the foggiest idea what's going on out here in these streets. You know how I know that? Because if you did, it's no way that you would be telling me the same exact thing that the Catholics are telling me. The Catholics tell me that I can't read this. The Catholics tell me that God is going to get me for reading these books. You know why? Because the church didn't canonize it. This is so hilarious to me. And many of our people, how can you call yourself a chosen one? How can you say that you are one of God's chosen people and you let the devil that the Bible speaks of tell you what you can and what you can't read? Many of our people out there, you're just parroting what you heard from the devil. These people are the devil. And it ain't no nice way to say it. Why would you want to be nice about calling the devil the devil? Even though when you read the Old Testament, it ain't no such thing as the devil. There are multiple devils, billions of them. Are there not billions of Catholics and Christians all over the world and every other religion? I don't want to leave you out. Y'all are a part of it too. But the biggest religion is the Christian religion. They got the world by the you know what's. Sound confirmation letting you know I ain't making that up. Whether you like sound confirmation or not, it's a real thing. You've witnessed it dozens of times right here on this channel. Hit the like button on your way in the door. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I'm not going to keep y'all too long, okay? We're just going to hit on a couple of spots in here to go into a little more deeper understanding about what Enoch saw regarding some of these fallen entities that many of our people want to make you believe is not real, but it is. I want y'all to hit that like button, Hebrew, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Let me see. Turn with me. And you know what? And tomorrow, most high willing, when we go live tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening, we coming right back to the book of Enoch. It's a book of Enoch kind of weekend this weekend, all right? Turn with me. The book of Enoch. Some people call it First Enoch. Okay, the book of First Enoch, or the book of Enoch, chapter 8. Read. Listen to this. Listen. Chapter 8. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the craft of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication. And they were led astray by Azazel and his other devils, and became corrupt in all their ways. Not some, in all their ways. Semyaza, who is another fallen angel, y'all. Listen to this. Semyaza taught enchantments, which means he taught niggas to do witchcraft. You see this? Semyaza taught enchantments and root cuttings. Amaros, the resolving of enchantments. Barakajah taught astrology. Kokabel, the constellations. Ezekiel, the knowledge of the clouds. Arachiel, the signs of the earth. Shamsiel, the signs of the sun. And Sariel, the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Did you hear this? All these things that these fallen angels, these fallen deities taught men, what were the results? Arachiel taught the signs of the earth, Shamsiel, the signs of the sun, and Sariel, the course of the moon. And remember, all these things that the angels are teaching them, The moon is not evil. The sun is not evil. Okay? The earth is not evil. But these fallen angels are. They were teaching them how to use these things for evil. Because it told you, it taught them enchantments. And we all know the sun is not evil. The moon is not evil. The stars are not evil. The earth is not evil. But these evil fallen angels taught men to work with these things to do evil. Because you always know you got to have a balance. Just like you got righteous divination, you got evil divination, enchantments. These fallen deities were teaching them all of that and then some. Do y'all see this? I hope that somebody out there sees this. And what did it say? All these things that these deities taught these human beings. And it says, and as men perished. You know what perish means? It means to be brutally killed, viciously. You go look up perish in the dictionary and see what it says. You're not going to walk down the hall and slip on a banana peel and gently bump your noggin and pass out and slip into unconsciousness. No, you're not going to go to sleep at home drinking hot cocoa, watching Wizard of Oz. No, you're going to be viciously, brutally hunted down and brutally killed by the Most High God. That's what it means when you perish. BK. You're going to die a bloody, heinous death. So you let that sink into your thick Negro skull. So when it says, and as men perished, because that was the result of all the things that the fallen angels taught. Men were perishing, getting BK'd. The fallen angels got niggas BK'd back then, and they still getting you BK'd today. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. Niggas was getting BK'd left and right every day, every night. And as they cried in agony, their prayers went up to heaven, y'all. Their cry went up to heaven. Man, chapter 9. Check this out, chapter 9. And then Michael, you all heard of Michael before. Michael is one of the archangels. Archangel, however you want to call it. And then Michael, Uriel. Some of you may say, well, who is Uriel? Uriel is another one of the archangels. How come they didn't put Uriel in the Bible? Because they hid him from you. They said, you know what? We only want to let these niggas know about Gabriel and Michael. We ain't going to tell them about Raphael or Uriel. Those are the two other archangels. And look, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember where I read it at. In one of them books, it says something to the effect like north, south, east, and west. Those are the archangels. Whenever you got a compass, your compass can decipher which way is north, south, east, and west. I can't remember, like I said, which one of those old books it was in. But it was basically saying that the archangels established the north, the south, the east, and the west. So when your compass is picking up, oh, that way is north, you're picking up one of the archangels. Okay? That's what one of those books said. I can't remember exactly what book I read that in. If anybody out there is familiar with what I'm talking about, let us know. But how come they didn't tell you about Uriel and Raphael in your King James Bible? If you are somebody who only reads what the Pope told you to read, you don't have a clue as to who Uriel or Raphael is. You've never heard of those angels. And now you have to ask yourself, why haven't you heard of Uriel? Why haven't you heard of Raphael? It's because of your church, Christians, Catholics, all of them, Romans. They said, take that out. We don't want these niggas knowing all this stuff. It's too much. We won't be able to shape them, control them, and manipulate them the way that we do today if we let them read all of this stuff. Just let them know about Michael and Gabriel. We're going to scratch all these other books that mention Raphael and Uriel. We're going to conveniently scratch those books out. Listen, chapter 9. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel. You heard of Gabriel before, right? If you are somebody who only reads the books that the church said is okay, that they signed off on and said, okay, yeah, you can read that. We'll let you read that. You only know about Michael and Gabriel. You've never heard of Raphael. You've never heard of Uriel. Right now we're reading out of the book of Enoch. And Raphael and Uriel are mentioned in other ancient texts as well. They just hid it from you and I. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed on the earth, and all lawlessness being worked on the earth. And they said to one another, the earth made without inhabitant cries the voice of their crying up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. So all of these people who are being killed and who've been killed, their souls are crying out to the angels and said, take this cry to the Most High. And look, that's where the book of Revelation gets that from. Where you think they got that from? Everything these people have hijacked from you and I, and they've twisted it. The book of Enoch came way before the book of Revelation. Okay? That's why on this channel, we don't deal with the New Testament, okay? Now look, I'll say this. Are there a handful of things in the New Testament that's true? Yeah, it is. And how do I know that? I know that because if I can find that same thing in the Old Testament, that's how I know it's true. The majority of the New Testament, we don't deal with that over here, okay? Because it's not needed. Turn to Yahweh and Him alone, okay? Strive your best to keep His laws, statutes, and commandments, and there is your salvation, right there. We don't need anything new, okay? And that's how they trick people, because here's the thing. They know that it's human nature. If I tell you, hey, I got something new and something old, human nature, you want something new. And there you go. You got a new God now in the New Testament that loves everybody. Drinking blood, eating niggas' bodies, all kind of stuff. Turn the other cheek, all kind of stuff. That's the new God. We ain't rocking with that nonsense over here. Like I said, the majority of the New Testament is a bunch of bah humbug. Now, they can't just roll out a book with 100% lies to you and give it to you, because that would be too easy to decipher. So they had to sprinkle a little bit of truth in there that they stole out of the Old Testament. And that's how we know the parts of the New Testament are true, when we can find it written in the Old Testament. That's how we know they stole it from there. And that's why it's true. Not because it's in the book of Revelation, but because we can go in the Old Testament, Torah and Tanakh, and find it right there. That's how we know when we see something that's true. And here it is right here. Here's where the New Testament is getting that thing about the saints being under the altar, the dead saints who've been killed, crying out to the Most High for vengeance. They're getting it from the book of Enoch. But see, they hid the book of Enoch from you so they can roll up on you with something new in Revelation. And they'll quote these things and say, see, this is true. And if it's true because it's in the ancient text. Remember, the Most High God says, I tell you the end from the beginning. He tells you these things. That way, when they happen, you remember that He said that a long time ago in the ancient days. The book of Enoch comes from ancient days, believe it or not. I don't care what kind of spin they try to give on you and try to tell you, oh, it was written in this time. It was written by that guy. The book of Enoch comes from the ancient times. And they got things that have been orally handed down as well, from Enoch's posterior meaning his seed, his sperm. Okay? We don't give a damn about what church people got to say about the book of Enoch. You don't know nothing. Okay? Again, I say, and now to you holy ones of heaven, the souls of men make their suit, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to the Lord of ages, Lord of lords, talking to Yahweh, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages. This is how the archangels reverently respect the Most High God. The throne of your glory stands to all the generations of the ages, and your name is holy and glorious and blessed to all the ages. You have made all things and have all power over all things. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? But they told you don't read the book of Enoch, though. And all things are naked and open in your sight, and you see all things, and nothing can hide itself from you. You see what Azazel has done. Talking about that fallen angel. You see what Azazel has done, who has taught all unrighteousness on earth and revealed the perpetual secrets which were preserved in heaven, which men were striving to learn. And Simyaza, to whom you have given authority to bear rule over his associates. Did you hear that? Simyaza bears rule over his associates, over the fallen angels. Simyaza is the man. To whom you have given authority to bear rule over his associates, and they have gone to the daughters of men on the earth and have slept with the women. See how plain this is made? There's no allegory. This not beating around the bush, talking vaguely. Straight up telling you what they did. This is why the church said, hell no. Get this out of there. And Simyaza, to whom you have given authority to bear rule over his associates, and they have gone to the daughters of men on the earth and have slept with the women and have defiled themselves and revealed to them all kinds of sins. Pillow talking with our women. These fallen angels were blowing out the backs of human women and pillow talking with them, showing them all kinds of sin, all kinds of witchcraft, all kinds of evil. And the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with the blood and unrighteousness. Said the whole earth. Y'all, do y'all understand how deep this was going on back then? Family, do y'all know that the giants nearly destroyed the whole planet? Do y'all understand it? See, church ain't going to tell you about this because church told you not to read this. The giants nearly destroyed the planet. And now, behold, the souls of those who have died are crying and making their suit to the gates of heaven. Did y'all hear this? And behold, the souls of those who have died, which means that they're dead already. And what did it say? The souls of those who have died are crying, which means that they're not fully dead. And their lamentations have ascended, and they cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which are worked on the earth. And you know all things before they come to pass, and you see these things, and you permit them. How about that? And you do not say to us what we are to do to them in regard to these. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? King David, what's going on, bruh? King David says, not trying to be funny. When you said they had horse meat, probably why women in DNA always talk that on social media. He got to be 15 inches long bullshit. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, King David. Hey, King David. Hey, King David. Hey, bruh. I think you might be on to something, brother. Hey, King David. I think you might be on to something. There is definitely a lot of talk around the water cooler, a lot of scuttlebutt, as they say, word on the streets, and you've seen it, you've heard it in person, on social media. There seems to be an infatuation with women demanding that your Johnson be 13 inches, 14 inches, 15 inches. I know y'all just heard that sound confirmation, letting you know I'm not making this up. King David ain't making this up. Is there anybody other than King David and myself on this live stream or on the playback that will admit and acknowledge that there is a lot of talk, a lot of burning desire, apparently? Many women, not all, but many women have publicly made it known that they need a man with a very huge rod. 12 inches, 13, 14, 15 if possible. Could it be that the women of earth have become super infatuated with huge penises because they are used to having sex with fallen angels who apparently have very large penises? Hey yo, what the hell? Hey King David, I think you on to something, bruh. Could it be that all of this talk and all of this infatuation, he gotta have 13 inches, he gotta have a 15-inch joint, your joint too small? Women liking to clown men for having small joints. Could it be because earth women, not all of you, but a lot of you, more than you know, have gotten addicted to huge penises because you have come accustomed to having sex with fallen angels? And according to the book of Enoch, these fallen angels have huge penises. Huge. And remember, a couple of days ago, we read the book of Enoch. Fallen angels came down and they took on the form of a bull. And when they took on the form of a bull, it said they pulled out the penis like a horse. Okay? Now, I don't know if you know, but a bull's penis is not as big as a horse. Horses are known allegedly for having penises that are like astronomically huge. A cow or an ox or a bull penis is nowhere near as big as a horse penis. These fallen angels came down, transformed themselves from a whatever state that they were in, took on the form of a bull, and then the book of Enoch says they pulled out the penis the size of a horse. And then they begin to have sex with those animals out there. This probably was like 2 years ago. I was watching the show called Ancient Aliens. I know y'all heard of Ancient Aliens before. Ancient Aliens be going into some deep stuff on there. They went into a cave, ancient cave, and there were hieroglyphs on the wall, ancient writings, where they depicted what the people said, they called it sky people. They said these things came from the sky, and they said these things had huge penises. They drew this so-called alien a stick figure. It was just a straight line, and they drew his penis. His penis was the size of a car. and they drew this sky person that they call with the penis as big as a car, and they had him over there like he was walking up to cows and bulls on the cave writings. Like, if I'm lying, I'm dying. They drew this thing that they call a sky person, penis bigger than a car, and they depicted him coming up behind to like a cow or an ox to, you know, do his thing, have sex. And when I first saw that 2 years ago, I was like, what the hell? I was like, why the alien gotta have a huge penis? But see, now it makes sense. These people saw these fallen things, came out of the sky, pulled out huge penises, and they started having sex with animals. And that's what the ancient people drew in the cave walls, y'all. I cannot make this up. This was on Ancient Aliens, y'all. King David says, yeah, it's used to come on History Channel. Yeah, hell yeah. And right now you can even go on YouTube and pull up Ancient Aliens, the History Channel on YouTube, and they'll pull up crazy stuff, just like what we reading about. And now it makes sense now because I saw the hieroglyphs on Ancient Aliens like 2 years ago, and then like a couple of days ago, I read about the same picture that the ancient people drew in that cave on the wall. I read about that right here in the book of Enoch. That I find that to be very amazing and crazy. So they're not making it up. I know it sounds like we trying to be funny, talking about fallen angels with huge penises. Enoch said they got huge penises. The ancient people drew it on the cave walls, y'all. And the book of Enoch, parts of the book of Enoch, parts of the book of Giants were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now, you're going to accept the Old Testament and books like that being in there, but you ain't going to accept the book of Giants and the book of Enoch being in there, even when there's lots of proof that it was there. Either you're going to accept the Dead Sea Scrolls or you're not. Can't have it both ways. This is some crazy heavy stuff we're reading right now. Chapter 10, the book of Enoch. Read, Ak. And if you haven't hit the like button already, Hebrew, hit that like button. Then the Most High uttered, not Christ, not JC, not Yeshua, not Bahashem Yahushua. Who uttered? Then the Most High uttered. JC or Christ, Yeshua, he's not the Most High. I thought the book of Enoch was evil, y'all. I thought the book of Enoch was evil, y'all. That book ain't real. Enoch ain't real. They talk about Enoch in the Old Testament, but Enoch ain't real. Why? Because you said so? Because your daddy, the Pope, said so? I don't listen to them niggas. They are the wicked. Why the hell would I listen to the niggas who put us in slavery? Why the hell would I listen to people who abuse women and children? I'm not listening to them niggas. King David says, and they was vicious and violent with it too. Basically draping the animals. Yes. I remember you said every time they come to the animals, get terrified. They be running not to be brutally raped. Exactly. Y'all, they was torturing these animals, y'all. And no wonder, look, those are the same people responsible for the blood God and the blood teachings in the Old Testament. Because they don't give a damn about these animals. And they get off on raping animals, killing animals, unaliving them, shedding the blood of animals. These things don't give a damn about humans, and they don't give a damn about animals. And they are freaky and nasty, foul spirits, y'all. And animals was scared of them. Remember, we read in the book of Enoch too, the animals was running from these things. It's messed up what they did to the animals, y'all. SP says it is what it is for real. Yes. And you know what? And that makes sense when men go to sleep and they have what you call wet dreams. Because these fallen entities, they are freaks. They're whores. They got a freaky, slutty spirit on them. They love draping people. The book of Enoch even said that some of these spirits, these are male fallen angels. They'll turn themselves into a female and come into your dreams. So that is a rainbow fallen angel coming in there and playing with your Johnson, making you have a wet dream. Because he is a rainbow. Some of those fallen entities, they're rainbow. They don't care who they have sex with. Animal, man, women. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. You ain't gonna stop this from being true though. The book of Enoch told you sometimes male fallen angels will transform themselves into a female, come into your dream, get you aroused because they are rainbow and they want to make you come because they're freaks. Same thing with the women. Some of you women out there, see, it's not as widely known. I know about it, and I know some of y'all know about it. It's not as widely known and discussed as the male orgasm in your dream, the male wet dream. You rarely gonna hardly ever hear him talk about it with the women, but I know it happens to y'all. Some of y'all out there know it too. The incubus demon, fallen spirit, will come in there and have sex with you in your dream. Whether he putting his rod inside of you and making you orgasm. I've heard stories of women say they had a rod put in their mouth. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. This is true, whether you believe it or not. It's been true way before we were born. These deities, these fallen Jones are freaks. And they had a problem with lust. That's why they left their original spot. They came down here to have sex with the women. They freaks. And they're also rainbow too, because they transform and they'll make you bust a nut too. King David says, yep, making you be a sodomite by force. Yep. Basically sleeping with a transgender like people do in the open or on DL. That's exactly what they're doing, King David. And I know somebody out there right now, y'all like, oh man, y'all making this up. It's right here in the book of Enoch. And look, even if the book of Enoch wasn't here, every man out there has had a wet dream before, and every woman. Well, you know what? I don't know if every single woman out there has had a quote unquote wet dream, because they don't talk about it. But I know a lot of y'all have. They just won't talk about it. SP says, pray before you go to sleep. Laugh out loud. Facts. Facts. You best be saying your prayers, Negro, before you go to sleep. This thing is real, y'all. These are some freaky spirits. They were so freaky and so turned on, they got horny. Yes, they were hornier than any human being could ever be. They were so horny, they said, you know what? We're going to put our rod somewhere, whether that's in a woman, in a man, in an animal. We're going to place our rod somewhere because we freaks. I know it sounds crazy, but you live in a crazy world, and this is the reality of it. Chapter 10. The Most High uttered, the Holy and Great One spoke, and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, and said to him, go to Noah, and tell him in my name. You see this? In my name, not the name of no other deity. That's why we don't give a damn about no other deity. We know other deities exist, thousands of them, probably millions. But the only name we coming to you with, the name of the Most High Yahweh. Go up to Noah and tell him in my name. You notice he didn't say, tell him in my only begotten son's name. Nope, no, in my name. Hide yourself and reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed. You hear that? So the cause for your flood, the main cause for your flood is these fallen angels, y'all, and these giants. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? And reveal to him the end that is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed. SP says, I can tell that the music industry has definitely been influenced by fallen angels. Hell yeah, SP. The music industry got fallen angels all over it. And a deluge is about to come on the whole earth and will destroy all that is on it. And now instruct him that he may escape and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again, Yahweh said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot and cast him into darkness and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudale, and cast him therein. This is on the earth somewhere. Somewhere in this earth, in the desert, Azazel is buried and he's wrapped up and bound hand and foot. And place rough and jagged rocks over him, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment, he will be cast into the fire. And heal the earth, which the messengers have corrupted. Did you hear that? On this great day when Azazel gets cast into the fire, that is going to cause the earth to be healed. Y'all see this? And heal the earth, which the messengers have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. Y'all, some of this stuff that these watchers have taught mankind, we don't even realize today because they've hidden it so well. They are to blame for what has happened. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. Not the so-called devil, not Lucifer. To Azazel ascribe all sin. That means Azazel can be blamed for all unrighteousness. Why is this not in your Bible? Because maybe you would stop blaming things on the quote unquote the devil, and you would know exactly who to blame these things on. Not my words. I'm reading word for word. Taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And to Gabriel, Yahweh said, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates. See, the New Testament try to make you think they came up with the word reprobate. Nope. Ancient stuff. Reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of the watchers from among men. Send them against one another, that they may destroy each other in battle. For they will not have length of days, and no request that they make of you will be granted to their fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live a continuous life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And Yahweh said to Michael, go, bind Semyaza and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth. Once again, all these things are on the earth somewhere. They're not floating around out in the atmosphere, floating around in the spiritual realm. These things are bound right here on planet Earth. Where exactly are they? I don't know. Antarctica, maybe. Maybe in the Middle East. Maybe here in America. I don't know. Wherever they are, just know you don't know all the places on the earth. They are right here on the earth with you and me. They don't want you knowing this in church. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, that means the Most High One didn't see their children get BK'd. Bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, until the day of their judgment and of their consummation, until the judgment that is forever and ever is consummated. In those days they will be led off to the abyss of fire. So right now they are bound up on earth somewhere until the end of 70 generations. That sounds like to me, after 70 generations, the end of the world will be here. And it says, until the judgment that is forever and ever be consummated, in those days they will be led off to the abyss of fire and to the torment and the prison in which they will be confined forever. And whoever will be condemned and destroyed will from then on be bound together with them to the end of all generations. Yikes. This sounds horrible. And destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. That's a profound statement, Hebrew. It says, destroy all of the reprobate spirits, the invisible things, deities, because they have wronged you and I. All the shit we had to go through, y'all. A great injustice has been done to the children of men. Nothing has been done worse than what's been done to the children of Israel, but even to the non-Israelites, children of men, human beings. All human beings have been put through the ringer because of these reprobate spirits who have wronged all of mankind. If you are a human being, you have been wronged. You have been wronged by these reprobate invisible spirits. And that's why they all going to be destroyed. And destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end. And let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it will prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth will be planted in truth and joy forevermore. And then all the righteous will escape and will live until they beget thousands of children. And they will complete all the days of their youth and their old age in peace. This has not happened. And then the whole earth will be tilled in righteousness, and will all be planted with trees and be full of blessing. Do y'all hear this? And all desirable trees will be planted on it. This has not happened, y'all. And they will plant vines on it, and the vine which the plant thereon will yield wine in abundance. We're going to have wine. I thought it was a sin to drink, though. Yeah, right. And don't try that Christian crap. Brother, this is virgin wine without alcohol. Where did it say that at? Stop lying and stop adding stuff to it, nigga. And on the vine which they plant thereon will yield wine in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown thereon, each measure of it will bear 1,000. And each measure of olives will yield 10 presses of oil. And you will cleanse the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godlessness, and destroy all the uncleanness that is wicked on the earth from off the earth. And all of the children of men will become righteous. Sound confirmation. Did you hear that, Hebrew? Hey, Hebrews, did y'all hear that? And you will cleanse the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, and from all godlessness, and destroy all the uncleanness that is worked on the earth from off the earth. And all the children of men will become righteous, and all nations will offer adoration and will praise me, and all will worship me. And the earth will be cleansed from all defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment. It's going to be an earth with no more punishment at all. and from all torment, and I will never again send them on it from generation to generation and forever. The Most High said a day is coming when he's never going to send punishment. He's never going to send defilement, torment, none of that stuff forever and ever, y'all. Chapter 11. And in those days I will open the store chambers of blessing which are in the heavens, so as to send them down on the earth over the work and labor of the children of men. And truth and peace will be associated together throughout all the days of the world and throughout all the generations of men. Last chapter we read today, then I'm going to let y'all go. Before these things Enoch was hidden. This is chapter 12. Before these things Enoch was hidden, and no one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he dwelt, and what had become of him. And his activities had to do with the watchers, and his days were with the holy ones. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages, and the watchers called me Enoch the scribe. You know what a scribe is? A scribe is somebody who writes books. But the church told you, don't read the book of Enoch. Enoch the scribe. You see that? I'm talking to somebody. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages, and the watchers called me Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, you scribe of righteousness. Which means these fallen angels knew that Enoch was righteous. You scribe of righteousness, go, declare to the watchers of the heavens who have left the high heaven, the holy perpetual place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of earth do, and have taken wives to themselves. You have worked great destruction on the earth, and you will have no peace nor forgiveness of sin. And inasmuch as they delight themselves in their children, they will see the murder of their beloved ones, and they will lament over the destruction of their children, and will make supplication continuously, but you will not attain mercy and peace. Enoch the scribe had to go to these watchers, the fallen ones, and let them know you were not going to be forgiven by the Most High. You're not going to get peace. You're basically finished. Your goose is cooked for what you've done. I hope that somebody out there understands the gravity of the book of Enoch, just how serious this is. We just got finished reading. That was ancient wisdom that we're reading right there. Regardless of whether you understand it, believe it, receive it or not. To those of you who can receive it, I know it's only a remnant. That's the way it's supposed to be. Certain books are for everybody. 2nd Ezra chapter 14 told you. The Most High told him, but 70 hold back and only give to the wise of the people. For this is the spring of knowledge and understanding in those books. Like the one I just read to you. This is real stuff right here, family. And I consider myself blessed to be able to read this, to be able to see this, to be able to share this with you all. You also consider yourself blessed to be able to read things like this, to be able to hear things like this, because you are blessed. Not everybody's going to get this kind of stuff that we are getting, family. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Most High willing, I will be back tomorrow. Late afternoon, early evening, and I believe we're going into the book of Enoch some more. Tav X, Hebrews, purity and becoming one. Brother King David says, laugh out loud at SP and put a lock on your Johnson and catch them red-handed trying to open it. Gonna spook you though, catching a live spirit red-handed. Hell yeah. Niggas gonna be scared out of their mind. King David says, all jokes aside, I don't care what no one say. A fallen one thought how to make mass firepower. and nukes using Yah elements. And look, as soon as I read that, King David, I heard sound confirmation in the background. As soon as I read that, what you said. Again, for the niggas in the back, King David said, all jokes aside, I don't care what no one say. A fallen one taught how to make mass firepower and nukes using Yah elements. No average Joe woke up and was like, I'm making a nuke and gunpowder. Exactly, King David. Exactly. Hey, King David, sound confirmation again to what King David just said. This is serious, y'all. And it doesn't matter who believes this, who understands this or not. This is real. And think more sound confirmation. Things are getting realer by the day, realer by the minute. Every day, mass shootings, mass stabbings, 3-Eye Atlas. Several other comments popped up out there along with 3-Eye Atlas now. Acting all crazy. Tails in the back, tails in the front, not in the back. All kind of crazy stuff going on. Every other day or every day is something else. All kind of drone spottings, UFOs, UAPs, triangle, black triangles being spotted floating in the air, even in the daytime. This is what people are saying, y'all. It's too much shit going on for you to actually think that it's just business as usual around here. If you are thinking it's business as usual around here, that goes to show just how diabolical the times are in. Y'all, they using all kind of stuff on us and technology on us that we could never. Many of us only think that this stuff only exists in the movies. I'm talking mind control. I'm talking physical body control, radio towers, sending out frequencies and stuff to make you feel a certain kind of way, to make you behave a certain kind of way. All kind of stuff. Some of this stuff is literally fallen angel technology. Fallen angel wisdom that they gave to people, showed them how to manipulate things to get an evil outcome. Can't make none of this up, y'all. We just read the book of Enoch. The fallen watchers wronged mankind. And we know the children of Israel have been done more dirty than any group on earth. But this even goes for the people who are not Israelites. The fallen watchers, they have done every nation of human being, because not every human being is an Israelite. If you are a human being, you have been done dirty by these fallen angels. That's why the world is in the state it is now. And they'll never tell you that at church. The main reason for the flood was the fallen angels. All kind of abominable creatures walking around on this earth. Church wants to hide that from y'all. And that's why they don't want you reading like what we just read, because it's going to say it plain. The book of Enoch, it delivers it to you plain. And that's why they don't want you reading this. That's why they say, I'm evil, you're evil, for reading Enoch, the book of Jasher, the book of Jubilees, whatever else, Ecclesiasticus, the Apocrypha, anything that the Pope said don't read. If you read, they say you evil. Even our own people think that we're evil for reading books that the Pope told us not to. It's amazing when you think about it. But we don't give a damn about the Pope. We don't care nothing about no religion. We're going to serve the Most High God and Him alone. Okay? And with that being said, I like to say Todd X to all my brothers and sisters. Okay? I appreciate y'all coming over here, hanging out with us, hanging out with each other. King David says, while y'all gave us a task to fix it, and we had the power and ability physically too, but we failed going after idols and still doing it. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. It's sad, King David. But you know what? The good thing, the silver lining in the cloud, we can see that the Most High He's closing this thing out. And we can see it. Nobody knows the exact day, but we can see it. King David says, Top X strength emoji. SP says, Lamech, Noah's father, thought he had been gathered by on because of his appearance. He was albino. Yeah. Yes, Lamech was terrified when he saw Noah. He was petrified because he thought Noah Like you said, he thought one of them fallen ones that got to his woman. And see, why don't they have that in the Bible? Why did they take that out? SP says, Father. We got you, SP. Lamech, Noah's father, thought he had been fathered by one of these things because of its appearance. Yes. And why didn't they put that in the regular KJV? Because the church, oh no, that's not canonized, brother. We don't accept that. You think we give a damn what you accept? You the devil the Bible speaks of. The people who made the church are the fallen angels. Sound confirmation, which is a form of righteous divination. I can't make none of this up. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Tavex, Hebrews, purity and becoming one, most high willing. I will see y'all late afternoon, early evening tomorrow. Y'all be safe. I love y'all. Peace, Hebrews. And shout out to Sister SP. Shout out to King David. And shout out to everybody else who came through here in this live stream. I'm out.